My purse is finished, officially finished. I, I beat it, this stem right here that hangs down, I beat it all the way around it. Here's the sides. I wanted it to look like real artwork, you know, dimensional, and they're like real flowers. And then on this side. So how much did I spend for it? The purse was 15 or 16. Sorry. The beads, I spent about, I hate to say, $25 on the beads. And you could buy it for $40 probably beaded, but I paid more than that to bead it. I did it because I love doing it, and it's fun for me. This was hard too because the fabric I had to go through was like cording, and it was real tough. But I could wear it with anything, I think. There's no shoulder strap on it, which is fine. I'll just be wearing it to church and stuff, you know. But I have another one I'm going to do, but I think right now I want to take a break and do something else. I have a Christmas diamond art nativity picture that I want to finish for Christmas for my wall, so I probably will do that next. Whatever I'm in the mood for. Who knows? Who knows what I'll do? But I'm anxious. I'm getting better at it, and so I want to do it again and try to do better. So then I'll have two of them, so when I die, each one of my daughters will get one. They don't want it. I know that. Okay. I finished, finally, the burgundy couch tissue cover. So I wanted to announce the winner because I haven't done it this month, and we can't forget that I still do them once in a while. But I told you I wanted to take a break from them a little bit because I was getting burnt out and my arthritis in my hands is kind of hurting. And so I just wanted to say, hold. But I finished one finally because on my little trip, my day trip, I was able to crochet the whole way. All right, the winner for this, Kathy McDowell, and she lives in Georgia. And she wanted a burgundy or a gray, so I made burgundy with the gray pillows. And I will be mailing that Monday. So she will be getting this. And congratulations, Kathy McDowell. I thought if I would get out my little sewing machine here, I could stitch my doll and while I watch TV, and it would be really easier. It's not. All right, I finally figured out the machine, and I had a problem because it will not stitch close to the edge as I need to around here. And it wouldn't stitch, it just ate up the fabric. So then I decided, okay, draw out the pieces from your template, and we will just, checking my microphone, and we will just leave it big like this and stitch it and then cut it out. And that is working out much better. So what I plan to do is, if you can see, I'll zoom in here to the stitching of this machine. Actually, the machine is not very good. All right. Actually, the machine is not very good because it keeps coming on the breaking the thread. And if you can hear it, you can tell it's plastic gears, which I hate plastic gears. I want metal gears. It's real hard to guide. My bigger machine is easier. But I'm going to follow through with this. And it doesn't go very fast. All right, did it. So what I'm going to do is cut out the legs with the small seam allowance here. I didn't exactly stay on the pencil line in some places, but it won't matter. This is just my prototype doll. And then I can sit here and turn this. And then you stuff it and then sew it in the body. And so you're at a lot of little steps along the way. So that's why I figured I could just do it this way. On this little machine, stuff it, then sew, stuff, and sew. But I don't think it's worth it. I think my big machine will be better. I got my knitting needle. Sometimes when you buy stuffing, they give you a little tiny stick to stuff things with. If you don't get one of those, then just use a knitting needle and put it at the toe and then shove it through to turn it like this. See? And then you can just turn it like that, and it's supposedly easy. Then when you stuff it, I have a little bit of stuffing here in this bag. Then you can just stuff it with the knitting needle too. Because how else are you going to get into this little tiny hole? You can't. And so you use the knitting needle. I just grabbed one and I got a really long knitting needle. It was probably my mother's knitting needle. You can also use the other end of the knitting needle, this end, to push it in. And that works good too. Now, I don't usually like making toys because kids don't play with them anyway. But I did in my day when my children were little and I was poor. I made Cabbage Patch dolls for them, and those Care Bears, they had a pattern to make them. The kids didn't like it because, well, if they were little enough, they didn't know the difference, but it wasn't real. And they knew they weren't real ones, so they didn't like them much. But Carolyn and I tried. Okay, there we go. See? So I thought my idea was I'll stuff it here while I'm sitting here watching TV in my comfy chair and then stitch it by hand, stitch the legs in. Wouldn't have to do it by hand. I'd have my machine right here, but it's not paying, it's not worth it because this machine is more trouble than it's worth. My other machine, I know it so well and I don't have any problems with the tension, with the stitch length, eating the fabric into the feed dog. That's the feed dog right there. So it's easier. Okay, so once you get the legs filled, and this is the foot, so I'm thinking you could just color it in for a shoe. But see the body piece right here, you have to stitch it and then put the body piece. I think we'll stitch around, but you got to have the arms in here too. So it becomes tricky. But I'm going to sew it on my big machine. This machine isn't worth it. I have to turn this one inside out. You can sew a thread right here in the inside and then you can pull it through, which is an easy way to do it too. But I didn't want to mess with trying to find, I guess I could use yarn. You know, when someone's watching you, you can't do it. I had to pause it so I could make my fingers work. Okay, here's the other leg. Just go buy one. They probably have these plain dolls, and then you just make the clothes for them, maybe. Okay, there's the leg. I have one arm done here that is not very good stitching because this machine, you can't sew close to this fabric very good. And it makes it like bad. Okay, here's the arm. Now, see if I can get the little finger out. Might have to use a pen to force it out. Like this. You get the pen, straight pen, and pull out the finger. From the knitting needle has it on the inside, and I'm having it a pin pull it from the outside. Okay, there we go. Is it done yet? No. Still working on it. Jamie's cooking downstairs. I smell something he cooked. Probably fried potatoes. Okay, there it is. Looks pretty lame. It's not very intricate, but it's okay. There's the arm. Now I need to sew the body enough so that I can do it. Put the arm in the hole and in the legs. Okay, that did good. And then I'm just going to cut this out close to the seam. This makes it much easier than that other way of trying to sew that close to the seam. Pattern out. Then we have to turn this inside out. Leave the bottom open to do the turning because otherwise you can't get it through that little hole. Life's too short to try to get it through that little hole. I was going to try to do it through that, neck hole, but it's too little. Okay, here's where the arms are going to come in. After you have these stuffed, then you're going to put this right here. And the arm is going to go, I lost the arm. Here it is. And the arm is going to go in here, in this hole. I saw this one pattern on Temu, and it was for a fat lady. I kind of want to make it, but I don't want to make fun of fat people because, a lot of us have that problem. But it's a real realistic doll pattern. Okay, here's stuffing the neck here and the shoulders. Okay, and the waist. We don't want her to be too skinny. She's not a Barbie doll. Now, a lady told me, and it's really true, go to the store and get a pillow for your stuffing at Walmart, and it's so much cheaper. And then take it out of the cover, and then the white cover that the pillow was in, I used it because Jamie's pillow was so cruddy, sweaty, stained. So I recovered his pillow, looks better. And then I put all the stuffing in the bag that the pillow came in. It was total recycling. But anyway, now Emily said, well, why don't you just give him the new pillow? Because he loves his pillow. It's just, he sweats at night. And it was, you can't get that yellow pillow. I know there's a way to do it, but I just put a new one on it. And then it looks better. Not embarrassed by it. And then I just put the stuffing this is how much from a pillow. You get a ton for like $4, a lot cheaper. They're for like $3.99 or something pillows at Walmart. Okay, this is the last arm. I'm turning inside out. The little finger thumb. You have to clip in there so that it will make an indent to turn it good, you know. Which I did. I did it. Now I have to poke it out right there. Okay. Here it is so far. But look how this arm looks huge. But maybe when it's closer on it, this will peek out of the arm and it'll be okay. Maybe I should stuff it in farther. I don't know. Is your arm as long as your leg if you do that? So far, so good? I don't know. The head's going to be the hard part because of the face. Okay, if you could see, I am embroidering the face. I did the eyes and now I'm doing the mouth just with the little thread. And just take, I have a teeny tiny needle and just take teeny tiny stitches. Or you could, if you wanted to, you could just draw it, color it in with Sharpies, probably. But I'm doing it the way I want to do it. And in the picture, their nose is like a little puff ball. I'm going to try to do it, but I don't know if I can. And that's the mouth. Okay, I finished the little nose. I took a little round circle and I went stitched all around it and pulled it tight and put a tiny bit of stuffing in it. Then I cut a hole in it and stuffed it in there and stitched around. So that's going to be her nose to give it dimension. Hope it works. Around the head. And I have to be very careful because I gotta leave an opening to stuff it. Okay. The machine's doing good. It's doing pretty good for the little crapper that it is now. Okay. Now I want to trim this. We don't want this big old seam here because we want it to lay flat. I was going to make the head dimensional and put the back pieces too, but I decided not to. It's just going to be a flat head, which is fine. I don't want to wreck my face that I did so good on. Okay, I'm going to turn it now. I'm turning it with my knitting needle. Don't want to poke through, so I'm being very careful. Am I going to make another one of these? Probably not. Spent hours on it. Could have done something else with my time. But I researched how to do the hair and everything. Okay, now poking this out like that. Okay, all right. Now I got to stuff it with the stuffing here. I found the best way is to use my scissors like this because it'll fit in the hole and the knitting needle just pops through the stuffing. Whereas this pushes the stuffing in enough. And then I'm going to make glasses out of some wire. It's just going to be really cute. Okay. Did I make it so you could see it? I'm going to put a little more stuffing in. Because my doll didn't have a gastric bypass, so she's going to be a little fatter. Is my doll going to be a grandma doll or a mama doll? I don't know. That depends on what clothes I put on her. If I make grandma clothes. I think she's going to be a grandma. She's going to have ugly clothes. See what I mean by the knitting needle is good to poke it in with, but not start it with. The scissors work better to poke it in like this. See? Like that. There was a time when I had all those granddaughters, I would have wanted to make one of these for every one of them. Glad I don't have them. I dropped it. Okay. Here she is. Here's her body. So now we have to stuff this neck in here to make it. Okay. I have to sew these on by hand. The arms, the legs, and the head. So I'm just going to sew them by hand, and then I will bring this shoulder out a little more when I stitch it. Okay. Let's look at the picture. On Temu, we're going to look at what it's supposed to look like. All right, here's a picture of it. The face and stuff, the hair. Can't see it very good. I need to make the clothes. And the shoes, trying to see how they did the shoes. This one, they made striped leggings on it. I'm just going to paint the shoes on and then sew little black buttons right here to make it look like, you know. Okay, I think my face. Let's go back to the face. The close-up of that face. All right, here it is. Well, they didn't put eyebrows on theirs. I have eyebrows. And they put a little pink makeup on it. I'm going to do that too. But see the nose? You can't really see that nose. You could look it up yourself if you care. Anyway, mine's going to be fine. I'll show it to you when I'm done.